Hey, I'm Dexter.
Boss.
Hey, I'm Oxnard.
Nice musical intro, boss. And welcome to episode 9
Season
of
3.
Season 3, The Reigns of Castamere.
Reigns of Castamere.
And easily the best episode of the series.
Yes.
And they did it.
Now, we could do this two ways. We can just immediately start talking about that.
Yeah, let's just immediately start talking about it.
I kind of want to save it for the end.
Save it
Talk
for
about
Let's save
everything.
it for the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be quick.
Yeah, it'll be quick.
The episode starts with Rob and Caitlin, but, let's save that to the very end, and we can discuss every single detail leading up to it.
Well, let's jump into...
the first thing that happens after that is...
Sam and Gil or John.
Is Daenerys.
Oh, okay, never mind.
In the book, now, they take Yunkai. It's a big siege on Yunkai.
Done a little differently than this.
Very differently.
Yeah.
They kind of just...
Have you? Did you reread that stuff?
I didn't reread it, but I do remember pretty
Okay.
well. I remember there's a big confrontation at the city walls, and they open the gates, and then remember that big guy who's not in the show.
Your strong bell wasp.
Belwas. He kind of is the one who goes out there,
Yeah.
and he's like
Bill
challenged.
Wizzles.
Yeah, he's challenged by some horseman guy who's like, I guess, the head of the guard of Yunkai.
I guess I don't remember those details. You remember more details of it than I remember the general part of it, like.
Well, I remember the guy charges him on the horse, and
Yeah.
and the guy's like, he's this big round guy,
Big fat ass,
Yeah, he
yeah.
just waits, and he just kind of like
Take it
he like
easy.
almost like cuts the horse in half or something
Oh,
like
man.
that. I think I remember. And then
George Martin has like a thing for horse murder.
yeah, Belwas wins, and it's the first time you see him fight. I really like that character, but he's not in the show.
No, and they didn't. And also, I think around that time that's the time. I think that Jorah Mormont is revealed to have been like writing, things back to Westeros
Right.
about Daenerys, and that old white-haired guy is actually Barristan Selmy.
Yeah.
And she kind of like banishes them both until they have to like take Yunkai for her to make amends.
Yeah, and I remember like scenes with Belwas, like after they go into the city, then they're kind of in the sewers.
I don't know if I'm right.
Yeah,
Actually,
I don't think they're going to do any of this because
well,
basically
it's already over.
Yeah, it's over. So I remember they're in the sewers, and then Belwas. I remember like there's like a rat. He kills it, and he like smells it, and then he eats the rat whole.
I don't remember any of this.
Really? I remember that guy so
would
well. I
remember
love that
that.
guy.
I think that's your fan fiction, your Belwas fan fiction.
No,
you
there's-
loved it so much you wrote your
There's
own
definitely a
chapter
part
for
where Belwas eats a rat hole, and so Dario, is that his name?
Yeah.
Okay, Chin guy Dario.
I'm pretty sure he looks like he's Arnold Schwarzenegger's son. Like he has like when I see his face, that's what I think of. He looks kind of like a young Arnold Schwarzenegger. He should have talked with an Austrian accent like that the whole time. Ah, Khaleesi, I would take the city for you.
now. We have to get there now.
We have to sack the city of Yunkai.
With Fat Belwas.
Get the Grey Worm to come,
want to
and
sleep.
also the Mormont, and we will take the city.
I want to sleep with your maid.
Let me see your cunt. Get your cunt.
Get to the dragon!
Get to the dragon. Get to the dragon.
So basically, Dario, Daenerys, they're all planning and so Dario has this plan. He's going to sneak in, take out the guards. Then Jorah,
let the other Jorah and Grey Worm in, right?
yeah, they're going to sneak in, and Barristan Selmy, he kind of wants to go with them, but Jorah says, "Look, you fall in the past, but don't
Your
worry."
Queen's Guard.
Yeah, your Queen's Guard, which kind of
gotta
annoyed me
trust.
because I really wanted to see that guy fight because I remember he fights in the book. He's part of that big battle that happens.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I just feel like Selmy, they blasted past his story, the reveal.
They do that with a lot of stuff. I mean, they cut
Yeah.
characters. I mean, we're going to talk about Bran. One of the things I was thinking about Bran is like they really cut out so much Bran stuff. They just get right to the meat of his chapters. They just give you the little bits that are necessary. They don't really go into into depth with a lot of his stuff. So.
So then they go into the city. They have their little video game moment. I was telling you
Yeah,
before.
right, yeah.
It seems like they're trying to
Player 3, join.
yeah, and so each one
Grey
has like
Worm.
each one has like their own fighting style. Like
Yeah.
one's like
Round
the
two.
Dothraki style,
Fight.
the Unsullied style, which is like
Yeah, he was like flinging that spear around.
That was awesome.
I know, it was pretty cool.
And then what did you say before, boss? Or was it you, Oxnard? That
What?
the Grey Worm looks.
Oh
like,
yeah, he looks
it
he
looked
looks like a young Barack Obama.
that makes it's like just a badass Barack Obama
It
killing
does- and
some Yunkai,
and it makes it cooler
Whipping
for
his
some
spear
reason.
around.
Fellow Americans.
I think that's where he met
kick ass.
Yeah, so Selmy stays behind.
American badass. Yeah, and then but then what was funny with that too? So then they have like their crazy video game battle where
Yeah.
They were worried that Dario was going to betray him. Jorah was.
Yeah.
Like, he's leading us into a trap. They get there. It's not really a trap. You know, he's killed guys, but then all of a sudden, all these Yunkai warriors come out. They start, doing their battle thing. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Jorah has
awesome.
some sweet moves.
Classic video game, like waves of enemies.
And
So
then
round one over.
Round two.
Round two.
Right, yeah. And then they're in the middle of fighting, and then they kind of cut out. And then at the end, when they come back to Daenerys, and you see Jorah Mormont comes up, and he's like,
And there's a glimmer of hope that Chin Dude might be dead.
Oh, I was so happy. I was like, yes.
I was like, oh yeah,
But
Chindu's not here. And then she's like, she asks for him, and then when she's like, and Dario, whatever his last name is, his face looked like he just shit his pants,
Right?
Because he was like so, because you could see like in his eyes, he's in love with Daenerys, so he.
Now,
When she was like, she didn't seem to care about him. She's like, oh, where's Dario? You
boss,
can
just
see.
cover your ears 1 second. Now, wasn't there a scene where like Jorah and Daenerys kiss?
Yeah, that happens in the book.
That's still coming up.
No, that happened already, I think.
They showed it in the show.
That would have already happened in the book.
Okay. No, because if they're not going to do it, then we can just say.
I don't think they're going to do it.
Because I wasn't sure if.
Or they already would have done it. In the book, it already happened.
Okay.
In the
All right,
book,
but it's fine,
open it
boss.
up. All right, in the book, because Jorah is in love with
There's
Daenerys.
a scene
and
in the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Jorah basically tells Daenerys, "Look, I'm in love with you."
He kisses her.
Yeah, and then they kiss, and he basically tries to give her the idea, "Look, we could reign together," kind of something like that.
I don't even remember getting that impression. I just know he will do anything for her because he's in love with her, and she's his queen, and he wants to be with her. And then, but then what happens is she finds out that he's been betraying her by like telling these secrets and everything to like Varys and sending these messages to Westeros. So that happens all in the book before where we are now in the show.
Okay.
But they didn't really get to. But you can tell. But you know that he is like very protective and jealous of anyone else getting her affection. And so when he comes back and she asks, her question to him is like, "Where's Dario?"
Yep.
His face is he's just heartbroken.
Yeah.
It was funny.
But
And then Chin Guy comes by and he has like a tapestry or something.
Yeah.
And he's covered in blood. And
he's like when they're planning and stuff, he does those little remarks saying like, I don't bed slaves or something. Like he's telling there's a brothel the men here do, and he's like, oh yeah, you never go, right? And he says like, no, because I don't.
You can't make love to a slave.
Yeah, and it's kind of I'm not sure if he really believes that or he just
he's
knows
just a
what,
womanizer.
Yeah, he just knows what to say to her because
Yeah.
she does go like, oh, okay, we share the same philosophies on slavery.
Oh, he's demonstrating values.
Yeah.
He's applying the Dario method.
Demonstrating the Dario method.
Acknowledging slavery.
Yeah, treating with respect.
Respecting
the poon.
Look, the
Anyway.
Dennis method is much more efficient.
Dennis has got to go with the Dennis system.
Yeah. Dennis method. All right, so they take Yunkai.
I just watched it. So they do.
That's a good one.
Man, yeah, every time they show Dennis having sex in that show, he's like a sweaty mess.
I know. He's always beat red.
Yeah, why is he so out of shape during sex? It's like so weird to me.
And he's going so slowly, too.
That's the other thing.
Until you see it, like his videos, like Mac references his videos about with the camera angle, and he's doing this flat arm stuff. He's like, yeah, but it's all this angle. Who finds this sexy? Who finds this sexy? It's basically you just see Dennis's balls.
Yeah. Ever see Frank's balls? They're like planets. Like, why? No.
We should just do it. This is our other show that we're going to be doing where we just talk about Always Sunny.
we just us quoting it and getting drunk.
Oh, green ghouls, buddy.
All right, so they take Yunkai. I guess it makes sense they want to get through it, and also they've done it before with every other kind of big battle. They just kind of hint at what happened. Tyrion slept through one battle. They just captured Jaime, but they didn't show you capturing Jaime.
What are you laughing
at? He does look like Obama so much.
You're watching the show now in the
God.
background, and Grey Worm is up there. He really does look like a
That's
young...
not weird to say, right?
No, it looks like him.
It's all right. I'm pretty sure I voted for him. I'm not. So I don't feel like that's bad to say that he looks like Obama.
He looks like Obama.
Not just because he's black. It looks like him.
Just making an observation. Anyway,
I can't help that I look like Jorah Mormont. That's not racist. I look ruggedly handsome and British.
Yeah, and I look a little bit like Daenerys. You know, it just happens.
Yeah, you got perky tits.
It's amazing. Anyway,
all right, moving on.
Sam and Gilly. Not much happens. Basically, the thing I found nice is that, remember Sam once said, like, I've always wanted to be a wizard. Remember that?
No.
Remember season 1? He's talking to John.
I don't remember.
And
when they first kind of become friends?
Yeah, like they're cleaning the table and they start roughhousing, and then the guy who hates John walks in. And, and he's like, what the hell are these pansies doing in here?
Yeah.
And Sam mentions, like, oh, I like reading and all that, and I always wanted to be a wizard. And then, Gilly calls him a wizard. So that's a
right.
little...
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, good catch.
There you go. And that's a little Reading Rainbow commercial there.
Reading Rainbow.
Take a look.
It's in a book. Reading Rainbow. Reading Rainbow. They see the wall. She just says that, my father says that no wildling ever looks at the wall and lives. And then she's like, but we're still alive, blah, blah, blah. They move on. Yeah. They're making their way towards the not Castle Black. They're closer to the.
Well, Sam is mentioning like the secret passage hasn't been used in hundreds of years.
Right. Yeah,
they're going to utilize. So we'll see what happens.
Basically,
to them.
the farther they get from danger, the more unwatchable these two are, in my opinion.
Well,
does Sam look skinnier to you in this episode? I feel like when I looked at him, I felt like he wasn't as large in the face.
In the middle.
I didn't think so. One thing I was going to mention later on with the Bran scene, I thought
this was a good scene.
Was it Joram, the kid, frog kid?
Jojen Reed?
Jojen. I thought he looked really young there.
Yeah, he
a
did.
lot younger from when we first saw him.
Yeah,
I think so,
well, then
too.
maybe they filmed that, but they could have filmed that earlier.
Yeah, they probably did.
That's not
because
uncommon, obviously.
when we first see him, he kind of looked like older.
Yeah, tall.
Yeah.
Here, he looked like literally a little kid.
He has a beard in the first episode, I think, and now here he's... No, he doesn't.
He has a beard and a monocle.
Like, where did that
He's
come
got
from?
like a Tormund beard.
All right, so now Hound and Arya.
Oh, man, this was awesome.
So the beginning we can talk about, but then their end story ties in with the ends. So basically, they come across. They're traveling to the twins. They come across this guy.
The guy just fixes his cart. The Hound just like lifts it up, and then he's like, "Oh, thanks!" Punch.
Yeah, punch him in the face.
Then Arya's like, he's gonna kill the guy, so he doesn't tell people what happened.
Yeah.
And Arya's like, "No, don't kill him." And then long story, he ends up like, "Fine, okay, I won't kill him." And then he starts to come out of it, and Arya takes a thing and hits him over the head and knocks him out again. I thought that was hilarious.
Then later they have a scene, the Hound's eating some pig feet, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Basically, you see Arya's really worried, and he has a good line there. He says, you're getting scared because you're so close to what you've wanted for a long time.
Yeah.
So the closer you get to that, you're afraid you're going to lose it more. Everything is just... Everything that's said in this episode has like this double meaning to it. It's all building up to this huge thing. And so... She goes up to the Hound and says, like, I saw your face when
they light Barrack's sword on fire.
Yeah, Barrack's sword on fire. Like, you look like a scared little girl. And she makes a threat to him. I'm gonna put a sword through your eye and out the back of your skull.
Yeah. That was. I mean, there were so many good things. Like, when I was thinking when she's like, don't kill him about the cart driver, and he puts his dagger away. I thought, I wonder. Like what he's thinking, it must be like a nice kind of almost a refreshing change for him, as opposed to Joffrey, who would be like, kill him. Just he'd want him to kill people or maim people for the fun of seeing it, Yeah. And now he has the exact opposite. I thought that was interesting. Yeah, and I love the whole exchange that they have.
Her face was so funny there. Yeah, keep going.
They have the whole exchange, outside the twins. That was just a great scene. She turns around, she's like, "I'm not afraid," and she says that line about killing him, and then she turns around and walks away. Yeah. She looks so like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it."
Yeah, she's doing a great job. That's a great.
And he's awesome too. The actor that plays the Hound.
Yeah.
Yarp.
I was looking up pictures of him without the makeup and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the guy from Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's so hilarious.
Yeah, but it's funny because you see the Hound you can see how they get the Hound, but it's just funny to see him without the makeup. He's like smiling and happy.
Sometimes all I can think of is Yarp.
Yeah. All right, so then we'll get to their stuff later on. Okay, then we get to Bran and Tommen, and this is the stuff. Remember,
Tommen?
No, not Tommen. Bran and what's his younger brother? Rickon. Yeah,
Tommen is the Joffrey's younger brother. Yeah.
Yeah. So you never listened to our spoiler episode, right? I hope not. No, you didn't.
8 times.
He left all those comments.
It's funny because
I memorized
YouTube accounts that he has.
This will fuck him up. But yeah, remember I reminded you that scene where like they're hiding in that tower.
Yeah.
And
Oh man, that was
I thought they did that really well.
Yes, that was the best Bran scene of the series. I felt like.
Yeah,
so
this is
far.
where you start to see the power of warging. It's awesome.
It just sounded really funny
and nerdy.
This is where you see the power of.
And
you were so serious when you said it.
Oh, because it is serious.
The power of warging.
So what's happening is, there's a storm coming. No, it's
Storm?
not.
Storms
Boom.
are brewing? Yeah.
You know nothing, Osha, whatever your name is. Hide in the tower. What's her name? Mira.
Yeah, Mira and Jojen.
Looks out, sees the rider.
Yeah.
Thunder's going on. Hodor is going nuts. Screaming.
Yeah, Hodor does not like thunder. And then the wildling guy who can warg, who's a
staring
warg,
up at him.
He thinks he can hear something, right?
Yeah.
And so they're trying to shut Hodor up.
Yeah.
And just like it just happens where Bran ends up like going into Hodor's mind.
Yeah.
That was fucking.
And that's a cool effect with the eyes and stuff.
Yeah.
I like the way they did
How's
that.
that kid do that? Is that kid actually rolling his eyes back?
No, I think it's a
Or
CG.
they put contacts or CG.
I think it's just a CG. They just put a white film.
Because
over
not
it.
everyone can just do that.
Just paint his eyeball.
Put some white, slap some white paint on. We need more paint.
Can you do
Kids
that?
just crying. Please, I can't. It burns.
Use those tears. Good.
Yeah. Yes. You really love Hodor.
It looked like a little CGI, just a little thing they
Maybe,
threw on.
probably, yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
wasn't
easy
very
to do.
impressed with that. I was thinking, is Hodor much farther from an animal?
Well, no,
intellectually?
because when that happens in the book, I was like,
Well, exactly.
because
He's a Pokemon, basically.
because Jojen, he says like, you just like warged Hodor. You can warg into your wolf. That's not like that's a wolf is nothing.
Because he's trying to when they're when the other wildlings say they're going to kill the guy. Jojen's saying these people are going to find us here and they're going to kill us, and so you have to warg. And he's saying I can't do it only when I sleep. And then Jojen's like, you just like what you just said. He said,
Yeah, and I think he says like, oh, can people north of the wall warg other people? And Jojen says like, no one
else can do that.
Like that's a shock to Jojen. It just shows like Bran is this. He's like it's like Gohan. He's getting more powerful.
Yeah. Oh, the balls are inert.
Except his legs don't work.
He's a crippled Gohan.
All right, so Jon and Ygritte.
Well, then, Jon, the one guy, the warg, he really hates Jon.
They come across this kind of
the stable guy.
Yeah, and basically Jon like they start rushing him. Jon doesn't want him to die. They don't want him to kill him. Right. He like taps his sword on the rock so that the horses go, oh, what's that?
Yeah.
And so the guy gets away.
Oh, what's that?
And then Ygritte's about to shoot her bow, and he's like, Ygritte. And then she stops a second, and I couldn't tell.
She shoots the tree because she hesitated.
Now, did she do that on purpose? Or
No,
I think so.
I don't think she did it on purpose. I think that she did hesitate, and then she's like, no, I'm going to do it. But then she missed her opportunity, and then the tree got in the way. Because the tree was like too perfectly placed.
Yeah.
For her to miss. But then later on, she does when basically everyone else knows that Jon did this on purpose, alerted the guy on purpose, and he doesn't want to kill him. Oh, then he's basically they say, oh, Jon, you kill the stable guy.
Yeah.
And he's taking a sweet time because he doesn't want to do it. He looks like he's about to, and then Ygritte shoots him with a bow and arrow. And then they start to fight, and Ygritte's going to fight with Jon.
Yeah, but then Jon sees like the wolves there.
Oh, yeah, well, the wolves, does he see them before they attack?
No, but keep going. Yeah, I jumped ahead of you.
Okay.
No, he doesn't.
No, I don't think he does.
No, but he did notice that wolves are attacked. So do you think Jon knows that maybe?
I don't think.
No,
I don't think so.
I don't.
I don't remember if in the book he makes a notice of that, like, oh, those were dire wolves. Because I think it's just craziness, because he's just like fighting for his life.
Because remember, all right.
Also, like,
Hold on.
well, then what happens is, where were we? Oh, so Ygritte's gonna fight for him, but he knocks her down.
Yeah.
John does, so that she doesn't get her. And then Tormund's like trying to grab her, saying like, he's not one of us. You're gonna die for this guy. He's not one of us. And meanwhile, Jon kills the warger, the guy, but then he wargs into the hawk.
Yeah, which is really cool.
Before his human body dies, and then he like comes down and attacks. I jumped ahead. I think in like in the first episode, I talked about how Jon gets like all...
Yeah, because in the book, doesn't that happen earlier?
I thought I remembered it happening earlier.
Or maybe there was a scene in the book where the thing dived down on him, but it didn't scratch him yet.
I don't know. I can't remember now. But anyway, they do that, and he like comes and attacks his face as the hawk, and now he's just a hawk, I guess.
Yeah, what happens? Like if you're...
that's what happens, and I don't want to spoil anything. But like he does reference.
You just said that's what happens.
Well, that's what happens.
Get him!
Because in a prologue for one of the other ones, there's a character with that, like, it's similar. Like, he can ward.
All right, so I got a death. I got a death toll here. Who died in that scene? The guy with the red beard?
No.
The warg guy.
Just
Only
the warg
guy.
Okay.
And maybe some other wildlings that were there
extras.
that aren't important. Like, they don't, like, have names, really.
Just keeping a tally. All right. So Bran tells
Osha
Rickon...
and Rickon are going to go away.
They're going to go... But before that, Bran tells him, like, I saw John. John was there.
Oh, right. When he takes over the wolf.
Yeah, and they have a very... that was a nice scene because the kid finally got some lines.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I was thinking of
finally.
that too. Right.
And it was good. It was good acting. And then Osha's going to honor the request of the Maester saying get him to safety.
They're going to... They says that they're going to go to House Umber, which is like in the south... Which is one of Rob's bannermen. Yeah, so then they leave right away, basically. And then Bran and Jojen and Mira and Hodor are going north beyond the wall.
Okay.
So now, I guess that's
okay,
it.
now enough dilly-daddling. Let me explain what this episode meant to a lot of the readers. Everyone who read the book, unless they're an asshole, and they got to this scene, they never... Anyone who didn't read the book, didn't know the story, you never told anyone that this Red Wedding was coming.
Right.
It was this thing that everyone was biting their tongue. Like, you wanted to mention it to people, but you couldn't.
It's because it's the craziest batshit thing that happens when you read the book. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, in fact, like, I'm shocked. I'm shocked it didn't get out more. I remember after this episode aired, I just went on Twitter and I was just seeing like what the trends were, and the top 3 trends, it was like GOT, Game of Thrones, Red Wedding.
I saw a thing too, and it aired in the U.S. before it did in the UK, and so like people in the UK boycotted Twitter.
On the East Coast, you get it first, and then the next time zone.
So people were boycotting Twitter, so that people wouldn't spoil it.
Yeah. But it just amazed me how many people like who watch the show who have never read the books. How many
Apparently
people?
A lot.
Yeah, I always thought like most of the people watching would have read the books, but I guess I was wrong.
I don't know. Oh man.
Okay.
And this is what I wanted to make this series for.
Yeah, this is what
to get to this point.
Because
the third book was the best, and I was like, I just want them when they were making the series. I was like, I just want them to make the third season because I wanted to see that.
Get there.
So, I had to see that. That was. Oh, and they did it finally. Thank God.
Yeah, and they did it
so well.
Very well.
It was great. Anyway,
hold on, I'm losing my train of thought.
All right, sorry.
Another interesting thing, though, George Martin has said this in interviews, like this, when he wrote the third book, the Red Wedding chapter was the last thing he wrote.
Yeah, I heard that too.
He wrote everything,
yeah,
and then at the end he was done. He just had to write the Red Wedding.
Yeah, that was,
and
like,
it was so hard for him to do. I think they asked him to write this episode, and he denied. He didn't want to.
Right.
He said
because David Benioff and the other guy, D.B. Weiss, whatever his name is, they wrote this episode. I think. Yeah, I don't blame George Martin. That's because they did such a good job. Props to I think his name is David Nutter, the director. Oh yeah, he did a really great job.
Great. So let's get into it.
All right, so
we'll start with just Rob and Caitlin. How it slowly builds.
Rob is talking, to Caitlin, to his mother about basically he's come back around, and he wants her advice. He does trust her, and they've made amends. I guess they put what happened between with her releasing Jamie and everything seems to be in the past now. And he wants to make sure with her that he's doing the right thing about going after Casterly Rock. And if they get the men from the twins, the Walder Frey's men, then they'll be able to do it. Right. So then they go there, and Rob has the scene where he's in front of Walder Frey and before the wedding, and he apologizes, and then he has to apologize. That was hilarious. The guy who plays Walder Frey was fucking awesome, by the way.
He was really good,
hilarious
actually.
Guy.
Here's the thing, like, if you hadn't read the book... Because I was analyzing it. For the second they start getting to the phrase and you see the scene, I immediately just started feeling like this anxiety.
Yeah.
And I started feeling like sick. And I remember after the episode ended, I texted you. I had like massive pit stains. I don't know why.
He's like, I've never sweated through an entire episode before.
Yeah.
He's saying, what?
because you know what's coming, and you're watching all these clues. Okay, so first off, they're serving what looks like
bread and salt.
Which I think is like the second your guest eats salt and bread.
It's like a sacred law.
Yeah, I think it's from it's like a Scottish thing.
Oh, is that right? Well, I know
Yeah.
in like Greek society,
Yeah.
like ancient Greece, that was a thing too.
Yeah.
Where like so you're a guest in my house and you've eaten some of my food. You know what I mean? That I've provided for you. Now, where you're, no harm will come to you.
no
And
harm.
it's like a sacred, like ancient law.
Right.
And so you see them doing that, and it's just like a kind of tradition.
First, I thought it was
almost.
like pulled pork.
Pulled pork sandwich, anyone? Yeah. Nice.
I thought it
South
was like
Carolina barbecue.
I thought it was some kind of whipped cream and bread. I was like, what the hell is this?
Who wants bagels and lox?
Bagels and
What the hell?
So then.
And then he's naming all the. He's like, don't apologize to me. Apologize to all the women that you. One of my daughters was supposed to be your queen.
So all the daughters
and the granddaughters
marched out.
too. And then he gets to the last one. He's like, he's naming all these crazy names, and then she just goes, Mary.
Yeah.
The thing I found sick about it was how much humor they were putting in.
Yeah.
Like
There
so all
was
these
a
little
lot.
subtle humor, like Blackfish looks at the girls and then he like slowly turns
Yeah,
back
because they're ugly.
And Edmer is like kind of looking around.
Great,
and,
yeah.
Like
See, but it works. But you only find it sick because you know what's going to happen.
yeah, but that's
Yeah,
it.
I didn't
I'm just
think it was like, I thought it was pretty funny.
no,
Yeah,
that's
it was
that's the
good.
thing I was analyzing. Like watching the show
because
if you had read the book,
that Frey knows the whole time what's going to happen.
yeah, it plays with your
and
head.
that is what's sick when he's like looking up and looking at Rob's wife.
yeah. And
That's
he says-
because he knows that she's going to get killed. And
he says, "I know a woman's body under the robes,"
Yeah.
which implies that he
knows.
knows that she's pregnant.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It implies
Oh man.
so much about that, and so I was just watching, like, man, people who haven't read this, they must think this, this weird, awkward, kind of goofy thing going on. But the whole time I was just feeling sick. I was just
My
When
heart was just pounding.
Yeah.
Pounding. It was like I couldn't like wait for it to get to the scene because you know what's coming.
yeah. And so then Frey,
God.
he says, we're gonna have a lot of wine, to ensure that his
He goes, the wine will flow red or
Flow
something
red.
like that. And I was like, oh shit.
and he's making sure there's a lot of it because he wants his army to be completely wasted, which they show like they're like drunkenly brawling and the guys are like smashing their flagons together.
Ah, this is the best day of my life.
Yeah, I know.
And then they even have another scene. Then they have when the wedding, Rob and his wife are talking, and they're just like talking about, we'll name him. Hold
on. We'll get to that.
all
We'll get to
right.
that. Okay,
Don't want to jump the shark here.
don't jump the shark because we got to talk about some Roose Bolton stuff.
Oh my god, Bruce Bolton is the best. That guy is an amazing
chilling.
actor. That I love. Bruce Bolton was my favorite part of one of my favorite parts of this episode. Like he was my favorite character.
No,
in this
everything
whole
about
thing.
him. Like
he is perfect. He plays it perfectly.
I thought his name was Roos.
It is. It's Bruce
Bruce
Bolton.
I thought you said Bruce.
Bruce. What's up,
thought he
Bruce
said-
Bolton?
I thought he just
That's
said
his
Bruce.
shitbag son who doesn't get out of bed before noon.
Okay.
What's up, Bruce Bolton?
my dad's a pretty big deal.
Want to smoke a J?
So
That's a pretty big deal. Maybe you heard of him.
his wife is fat. My mom makes him rich. Anyway, so they offer him wine, and he's like,
Yeah, he does
I
not
don't drink.
I do not partake.
Which I love that they put that in, and
And he
dulls
says,
the
"No,
senses.
yes, exactly."
Implying that everyone else is going to be kind of what?
But what's good is it doesn't seem suspicious because you already know that he doesn't do that. You've seen it before, and everyone's like, fucking Bruce Bolton. He's always got a stick up his ass.
Yeah, just a weirdo. Who's this guy? Rob looks over and he looks over
Right.
to Caitlin and says, "Oh, I should go save her from Bruce Bolton."
Yes, right.
And so then Rob and his wife have a nice little moment there.
Right.
She makes the comment, "Oh, look at Edmer talking to his new wife. Would you rather be there?" And then she kind of goes to like try and hit him and stuff.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
like, it seemed like they were really like a couple there.
Yeah,
More than
yeah.
any other scene. I
Yeah,
think.
he's like teasing her and stuff like that, and then, and then meanwhile, Caitlin's talking to Bruce Bolton and Blackfish, and you find out that Bolton is married to one of Walder's other daughters, who's like, and he said that Walder Frey told him that he would pay his new wife's weight in silver as a dowry. So he goes, so I have a very fat wife.
Yeah, so he picked the
And
fattest.
so he picked the fattest one. So and he made her very rich.
Did she? Yeah, like, did she make you happy? She made me very rich.
Yeah, because Bolton doesn't give a shit about that.
No, the guy's like an
just-
automaton.
Yeah.
Bent on just achieving maximum possible power and wealth.
Oh my god, that guy's so awesome.
I know.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so then Blackfish, who in the book I don't think was even there. I think he stayed behind.
Well, maybe. Also, Rob's wife wasn't there in the book either.
Blackfish, he gets up to piss.
Yeah.
Right.
So he's not there.
Yeah, he's got to find a
not
tree
there.
to piss on.
Yeah.
Right.
Edmer, they go through
They have
whole
the
thing.
bedding ceremony
Bedding.
after he meets his wife, who's a cutie. He's completely relieved that she's attractive.
Yeah, which is another sick thing that Frey's doing. Frey is like, here's the thing that's so shocking about why this. There's so many things that make this like the most shocking thing I've ever read in a book. I can't think of any other book I've read that made me just go like, what? Like I was just confused and like, why? And
Yeah, you do become like sick to
because
your stomach
the
when you read
Freys
it.
are these guys who you meet in book 1.
There's 10 million of them.
Yeah, they're kind of mentioned every once in a while, and okay, Rob was promised, and then they start coming back into focus. Like, okay, now they're going to have this wedding. Okay, they made this deal, and you're thinking, okay, good, they're going to build their army. And
Yeah, they
have
made
this wedding.
amends, and like, he's like a crusty
like
old asshole, but everything's going
Like
well.
you've been learning more about like Joffrey and Ned and all these other characters.
Yeah.
The phrase is like a guy you forgot about.
They're secondary.
Yeah, and so they
For
go.
the most- you know
finally,
what I mean?
get there.
When Edmer like sees the wife, and then like Rob like looks at Walder Frey, and Walder Frey
Yeah.
like makes like this cheeky
right.
like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Once
Yeah,
again,
like you
like-
thought she was gonna be a dog, like all my other relatives.
I thought that was the best part of it. He's
Yeah,
like,
that was which
pretty,
was really
pretty
funny.
hot, right?
But if you're like Oxnard, who gets disgusted because he knows what's happening and he can't wait for it, he knows what's coming.
That's like
when
the
he sees these
sickest-
things, he's like, "This sick fuck."
No, I thought that was my favorite part by what is his name? Walter Frey.
Walder.
Walter Frey. That was good.
Yeah, no, that was it was.
He looked so creepy. He's
I'm
like,
telling you, now
like
that
a
you know,
creepy old man hoggling his.
But now that you know what happens, don't
like
you think that
watch
it's
everything
creepier when
that's
you
going to
rewatch
happen.
it? I think it's funnier.
I think he was creepy just not knowing that was going to happen still, but I thought it was just funny that he did that.
That was funny that he did,
Like-
but yeah. But and Edmer is like,
Okay.
whew, and he's like, oh, she's like, I hope you're not. She says something. What does she say? Like, I hope you're not disappointed. And he's like, oh no. I can't remember what he says, but he's like so relieved when she gets up to the altar,
Yeah.
and he's like, damn, thank God,
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
the gods, she's a hottie.
And
5 to
so,
7.
So then there's a nice scene with Rob and his wife. They're kind of talking back and forth.
Right at the reception.
Yeah. And that's before he's carried away.
And she's like, oh no, don't kiss me. I don't want to insult anyone.
Exactly,
And then they're
exactly.
talking about how.
And I don't know if you noticed, but there's a part, she makes a comment like, oh, would you rather be up there like feeding grapes to your new bride or something? And when she says that, they show like Edmer and the wife. But if you look at Frey, he's like staring at them. And I'm telling you, there's like a murderous glint in his eye. And he's
I
like
didn't
sipping
notice
from
that.
this cup. Yeah, I'll watch it when it comes up.
okay.
Okay, so then they carry them out. They close the door. Caitlin immediately begins to...
Kind of looks like, wait,
Yeah.
this isn't quite right.
Right.
And that was very noticeable.
So you see
when I was
the
watching.
band playing, and then they start playing the Reigns of Castamere song, and Caitlin's like looking around, like what the hell?
Now, when they get outside, the reason I think they close the door is because they don't want them to hear what's going on outside, which is basically
Or
everyone
anyone
just
to
left.
be able to just come in.
Yeah, everyone just left to start killing off his army.
Right.
Just start decimating everyone.
And you can see outside when Arya and the Hound come up, you see men moving in
right.
to the twins there. You see men going into the door when the guy's telling you, you got to turn around. The feast is over.
Right.
The feast is over. You missed it. And then Arya tries to run off. So then you cut back inside, and then Rob and his wife are talking and about the baby. And she's like, "Oh, we have a name, and we're gonna name." They're talking about how they're gonna name it Eddard, like for Ned Stark. And
Not in the book.
no, well, she's in the book. She's not even there.
Yeah.
And then again, they're just building up this moment like, oh, we're having a baby. We're going to name our son after your dead dad. And it's like, we're going to raise him and it's going to be wonderful. And then when Caitlyn's sitting down with Roose Bolton, like you were saying.
Caitlin with Roose Bolton again,
Yeah.
and Roose Bolton just giving her this really creepy look.
Roose Bolton, she lifts his sleeve up. Caitlin does, and finds that Roose Bolton's got chainmail on. She gets up, slaps him in the face.
Slaps him.
And screams like Rob's name or something. And then all
Rob
fucking
won.
hell breaks loose.
Yeah. Maybe let's just watch it first.
Yeah.
I'll pause this. All right, so we just refreshed our memories a little bit by watching the end of the episode
fucked
again.
up.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I've watched the end of this episode about like 7 times. That was probably like
Oh my
the
god.
8th
How
time.
did you
Just
do that? Gross. That's insane.
it's the same reason I think people watch
No wonder you're in a bad mood today.
the Psycho scene in Hitchcock's.
This was a little more
Yeah, it was just
disturbing than that.
Well, definitely. I wasn't watching over and over again going like, oh man, this is great. I was watching...
ripped off Alfred Hitchcock!
I was watching because this is like the moment in the book.
I know why you... I know.
Everyone, like...
Freak.
Everyone knows, like, this is what made the third book, like, you know, what it is, and everyone, like, talks about, and...
He gets off to a Stark dying.
And then,
He's
you know...
masturbated 7
it's why
times
people
today,
start
so what a coincidence.
People started getting afraid of George, because you never
Afraid?
knew if he was gonna...
George, don't make George angry.
Exactly.
No, don't make George angry. He'll kill off another character I like.
All right, so basically, there's crossbowmen above Walder Frey.
Right. Then basically
Roose Bolton, after he's smacked,
he runs away
like bolts.
Then she
he
screams.
bolts. God.
It'd be better if he said that. Bolton bolt. Then
random
she screams,
guy.
Caitlin screams like Rob or whatever, and then this guy comes over to Rob's wife and just starts stabbing her in the fucking uterus.
Which is shocking.
That was
even
disturbing.
If you read the book, because that is not in the book.
Right, because she's not. That is fucking disturbing.
Yeah, that was the sickest thing I've ever seen. Then everyone starts getting shot. It's chaos.
Right, Rob gets shot, Caitlin gets shot, all the, Walder Frey's men come out, they start killing all of Stark's men, and it's just chaos. And then outside, it's the same thing, it's chaos.
Yeah, Grey Wind is in the little kennel there, Arya. Now, in the book, Arya doesn't see Grey Wind getting killed.
I don't think so. I think in the book, when Arya and the Hound arrive, the battle's already raging on, and she sees it, and then she gets hit, like, in the back of the head with an axe, like the flat head of an axe.
Yeah, and in the book, you're also left to think that...
maybe she's dead or something.
So basically, this is like a genocide of the Starks. So
basically,
it's just get rid of them all.
Yeah.
From the babies that aren't even born yet to
little baby Ned.
To the elders.
Like you said, Ned dies again.
Yeah, Eddard dies again. Do not name anyone Eddard. It doesn't work
seriously.
out.
And then Arya watches the wolf get killed, which is really sad. That was horrible to watch.
Yeah.
And then there's like the last
it's hard
scene,
to talk about because it really is like
what's so intense.
It's so intense. It's like it's the most disturbing thing I think I've ever seen.
And
in
then
any
we're
show.
rambling on like morons.
But that's why it's hard to articulate it because. And the other thing, like in the book, it's a Caitlin chapter. You see it all from Caitlin's perspective, and it happens like suddenly.
I had to read. When I read in the book, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. I had to reread it about 3 or 4 times because. In the show, it seems like it takes place for a longer period of time. In the book, it just seems like boom, 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 boom. Yeah,
it's like lightning.
Like hit.
Yeah.
This person's dead. And Caitlyn's...
You're not even sure what's happening.
Yeah, and so in the show, Caitlyn, things go a little different. She grabs Walder Frey's wife and, telling Rob to run. And he's, threatening
She's gonna
Walder.
Cut her throat, yeah.
Cut her throat, and he says, I'll just get another one.
Then Bolton comes over to Rob, says the Lannister sends their regards, and kills Rob.
Shows you their allegiance.
Oh, and then
it all comes back to these fucking Lannisters. And so,
you gotta be. I would have to be a Lannister if I lived in this world.
And so, her performance there was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Like, come on, Caitlin Stark. I know you don't really like Caitlin Stark.
What did you think of Mrs. Stark in this one, boss?
She was good.
Yeah, she was good.
That was like the best, like the scream.
Excellent.
Like that's what I'm glad they did. It wasn't like no. It was like a primal.
It wasn't like Darth Vader at the end of episode 3. No.
Yeah. Like you don't say no if you're under that much distress. If you
she just screamed.
Yeah, she thinks every one of her children is dead at this point. She thinks Bran, Rickon, Arya, except for Sansa, but she's with the Lannisters.
So what? She's just as good as dead.
Yeah,
for all she knows. And
at that moment, you can just see like she just becomes like a shell of like a human being.
She kills She slits the throat of Walder Frey's wife, and then she just stands there. She's like immediately like she's just and she's just like stuck in a stupor.
Yeah,
and then the guy just comes over and cuts her throat, and then that's the end of the episode. Yeah. Silent credits. That's fucking nuts.
And so in the book, I had to refresh my memory. You told me you remember she goes like nuts in the book.
I thought I remember right. How I remember is that I thought she like starts clawing her own face off.
She does.
And then they slit her throat.
Yeah,
and dump her body in the river.
Yeah, hers of Sansa and Ned. The white tears and the red ones ran together until her face was torn and tattered. The face that Ned had loved. Caitlin Stark raised her hands and watched the blood run down her long fingers. Over her wrists, beneath the sleeves of her gown, slow red worms crawled along her arms and under her clothes. It tickles. Everything.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, like it's in italics. Like she's going insane.
Yeah.
That
She's out of her mind.
That made her laugh until she screamed. Mad, someone said. She's lost her wits. And someone else said, make an end. And a hand grabbed her scalp, just as she'd done with Jingle Bell. And she thought...
That was like, she kills like a half-wit or like something like that, I think.
Right. And she says, no.
Like a jester.
Don't cut my hair. Ned loves my hair.
Oh, yeah.
Then the steel was at her throat, and its bite was red and cold.
Oh, my God. I forgot about that. That's so sad.
I know, but I'm...
No, not my hair. Ned loves my hair. That's the saddest thing.
Everything about it is just a screwed up
Obviously, they can't do that in the show.
No, I'm glad the way they did in the show.
I think the show, it works perfectly for the show. It's shocking. When you're doing a show, obviously, it's obviously you got to have to do it differently from the book because there's certain things you can't get into the minds of the characters the same way you get in the book. And then with the show, when everything starts happening, immediately you're shocked by what you're seeing because all these make it like... You don't know if people are dead immediately. Like Rob gets shot like a couple times with the crossbow, and Caitlin gets shot herself. So you don't know what the fuck is going on. So it's more of shock that you're going for. I feel like then you can't then drag it out. I think they did it perfectly because if they start dragging it, then you're gonna be like, "What do you mean, Ned's hair?" Because you can't get all of the the stuff inside Caitlin's head like you can in the book.
It's
you know what
hard,
I mean?
Too hard to do.
Yeah.
They did it. That's why, that director did a great job, and whoever wrote it did a great job.
I wonder what it was like for the actors to film those scenes at the end.
I kind of want to start watching the commentaries, and I especially would love to watch the commentary for that.
Like for the actress that plays Caitlin, and for the people that play like Una Chaplin and the guy who plays Rob, and stuff like that. That would be. I wonder what they were going through for that because that must have been like really heavy stuff for them to film. I'm sure that was like a depressing. Not only are they done with the show for the most part,
and the other thing that's disturbing is like it's a wedding. The way it's lit doesn't seem like a scary place. It just seems like, oh, here's a nice wedding with feasts, everyone's having fun.
Well, it turns everything upset because you think you have this ancient bond, you're in a safe place, and all of a sudden that's slippery. Now nowhere is safe.
Yeah,
where can you be safe?
And the other thing I liked is that the episode was a little shorter. I think I remember looking at the clock and. It was like 9:53, and the credits were rolling.
I don't know. It felt so long for me when I first went, only because I was like so nervous waiting for this scene.
Right.
So it felt like forever for me. It felt like it was 2 hours long.
Right. And of course, there's no way I'm going to draw cartoons
for the Red Wedding.
For the Red Wedding.
You should try and do it.
No, it can't.
You'll go insane.
I would not do that.
You'll go out of your mind.
Do like a stick figure version. Like really,
that's even more. That's even worse.
Sensitize it completely.
Just trivialize the whole thing.
Oh god.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
Death Toll was Talisa, Rob, Caitlin,
right?
The Stark Army, Frey's wife, Grey Wind.
Stark Army. That's Death Toll. You just lumped like 10,000 people together. Stark Army. Oh man. And now the season finale is next week. That should be really good too.
Yeah.
Because there's other stuff that happens in that chapter that they don't talk about, that they don't show yet.
Right.
With the chapter of the Red Wedding that they haven't shown, that I'm assuming they're going to show next episode, which is also extremely disturbing. All right, well, let's... so anyway, now it's time to move on to our segment, What Did Boss Think?
Okay, I'm very curious. What did you think, honestly? As a person who never read the book...
Well, I told you that I thought that his wife was going to die.
You did say that.
But I thought it was going to be like, like an espionage way, like they hire somebody to just randomly kill her, and it's like, oh, we can't really tell if it was the phrase or who's behind it, that kind of thing. I did not expect all of them to die.
Right.
That came out of nowhere.
No one did.
But, however, it kind of spoiled it because of the title. Because you explained what the Reigns of Castamere were last time because Circe mentioned it.
Right.
So I knew something was going to happen because I watched like 75% of the episode and I was like, okay, why is it called this? Yeah. So I was expecting a lot of like something major to happen, but I didn't know it was going to be with the Starks.
And you didn't think it would be to that extreme?
No.
See, that's why I almost wish they didn't name the episodes.
Well, I mean, also most people Don't read the episode.
The only time I see the title of an episode...
I watched with my fiance. She doesn't know the names of the episodes, and she doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, because I was on HBO Go, so it told me the name.
And also, we're looking at the episode name because we want to know, because for when we do this, we talk about, we get the title of the
I just
show.
wish it said season 3.
She didn't know at all, and she was fucking shocked and horrified.
Really?
That's part of why I was sitting there, because I kept looking at her reaction to see, and she was horrified. She was in a terrible mood after.
It would have been better. It would have been better.
I
had
had trouble
sleeping.
Yeah. I'm serious. Like I couldn't sleep.
I was a little disturbed too. I was like, maybe I should watch some cartoons before I.
Yeah, I know, right? I gotta it's like Venture Brothers season premiere is on. I have to tune that in. I need something.
Like, how do you go from?
I need a funny cartoon right now.
How do you go from that to watching Veep?
Well, I watched Mad Men right away because after that, because it comes on at 10. But then that didn't really help me out either.
It just gets stuck in your head because
it haunts. It haunts you. It's so heavy. It haunts the shit
I felt
out
like
of you.
a sinking feeling inside, even though I knew it was coming. And it felt like I lost something. It was weird.
Because it's so intense and so gory.
Yeah. Now, what do you... I want to hear your predictions. What the hell could possibly happen now?
Well, on the positive side, I'm kind of glad that they...
He hated all those characters.
Oh, yeah. I was not too interested.
He's pro Lannister.
Edmure did get to have sex.
Yeah.
Oh,
wait, what the fuck? They have to show, what's happening to Edmure. It's like, oh, what's that noise outside? It's nothing. Shut up. I'm over.
Unleashing the monster.
Oh, yeah. We didn't talk about that line.
On the positive side, they're getting rid of a storyline that I wasn't that interested in. I liked the other ones better than this one. It kind of gotten away from me.
I
like the stuff with
but
the.
That's like the main.
No, I know.
You're supposed to be rooting.
No, I know it's one of the main storylines, but it was one that I was less interested in because I was more interested in Jon Snow with and things with the wall, and I was more interested with
I know what he means
with Daenerys, and I was interested with what's her face.
No, I think he means as he was watching
Arya.
the show, everything with the wedding was less interesting than what else was happening.
Yeah,
and the only reason is because you didn't expect what was going to happen at the end. That's what he means.
But no, I'm just also saying the characters I wasn't really into.
Well, he was
I wasn't
a
into.
fan,
I wasn't into a Rob Stark fan.
I
wasn't. Yeah.
Because you know why? Because in the show it's a little different than the book. Because in the show, all the Rob scenes are with his wife, and it's all love scenes. You know what I mean? I love you. Do you hear me? And we're having a baby. I love you so much.
At least he didn't go.
Love.
At least he didn't do that thing. He said she's pregnant.
Oh yeah, that's right. We were worried about. I think in the spoiler episode we talked about that, right?
Yeah.
We were worried about how they would handle this scene. And then one of the things we talked about, because they were building it up so much, I love you. Oh, we're having a baby. And then I was worried he was going to be screaming, she's pregnant. My wife is pregnant. Yeah. Oh, I love you.
God damn you.
God damn you. Phrase. God damn you.
Oh, you know what I hated? They killed the wolf. And why do you gotta show that? Maybe next episode they could talk about what happened. Be like, yeah, they killed the whole Stark army and Rob and his wolf died too. That kind of thing. Barely mention it. So I don't have to see the wolf get shot. Come on.
You should probably stop watching the show.
Yeah. All the wolves keep getting
I'm not going to
killed.
say
no, it doesn't.
Wolves keep getting killed.
I don't like when the wolves die.
No, nobody wants to see the dogs die.
They couldn't have just released it. Could have lived out its days in the woods.
Yeah, let's release. There's a big battle going on. And this thing is obviously antsy.
Oh,
let's just release it.
The other thing,
and the dog can smell the blood of his master in the air.
I honestly thought this was in the realm of possibilities when I was watching Arya. I was like, "Ooh, maybe she'll release him and ride the wolf to safety."
Well, I didn't think about
that's a funny idea.
But I did think for a second that she was going to get there and release the wolf, and the wolf was going to start going
and
crazy
ride it to safety.
I didn't think the riding, but I just
ride it to safety, like David the Gnome kind of thing.
David the Gnome.
Oh, wait, how's it going?
What was the song?
Fairy kings, birds that talk, and fish that sing. And if your heart is true,
then he's
with
the gnome
every dream
we got a
and
gnome
wish
for
and
you.
happy home, you will find the kingdom of the gnome. Schlitzweiz.
Exactly.
That's how they say goodbye.
Yeah, exactly. So it was going to be exactly like that.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah. So wait, what do you think is going to happen?
What do I think is going to happen?
Season finale now.
In Westeros.
One more episode.
There's one
more episode.
There's one more?
Yeah, one more. Next Sunday's
I don't know. I feel
Can
like
you imagine that was a season
die.
closer? Which is what I thought they were going to do.
That's what I thought they were going to do too.
But you know
I
what?
almost wish that they did. Can you imagine
So that
the
tells
last
me-
shot of the season, you have to go like another year now with your last memory of the show being Caitlyn's throat being cut
I know,
and she falls to the ground dead and then silent credits? That would have been fucking amazing.
That would. Oh man, I kind of wish they did that.
I wish they did that too. That should have been the season finale.
I'm kind of spoiled though because I don't think anything major is going to happen next episode.
No, there's still going to be major stuff, but it's not going to be. Believe me, when you read that in the book, I still haven't read anything that tops that. There's nothing more major than what happens, and that's the problem that he's had now with the following books. Is that Storm of Swords as a book was so amazing.
He blew his
Just
load.
The whole book, yeah. No, I mean, I like the follow-up books. But this third book is so incredible. It's so well done. It blows your mind. And then, and then nothing is as good, you know, as that. He can't top it. I mean, and I don't think it's that he blows the load because it is really amazing to find out what happens now after this because this changes everything.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You know what I mean? It's good.
That's what I was trying to say before.
That's also what's so amazing about it is that he had the balls to kill off. I mean, how many major characters now in this, and then you're gonna think, well, now what the hell is gonna happen?
Yeah, that's
You're only halfway through the story.
So my prediction, like, well, I don't know if I have a prediction, but it's just like the war's over, right? Isn't that like basically what's going on?
I mean,
and they're just waiting for Daenerys to get there.
I mean, essentially, you have
happened.
to think that this is going to end the War of the Five Kings, which is what it was, because Renly's dead, right? Stannis was defeated. Okay, King's Landing. Now Robb is gone.
That's three.
And who was the other one? Is Daenerys still No, Daenerys wasn't considered one involved in that.
No.
I'm missing something.
There's Renly.
Balon Greyjoy. The Winterfell has fallen, and Theon's not an issue anymore. And I don't know if they reveal something that happened to Greyjoys yet at this point.
No.
All right. So, the war is quickly...
Aliens. It's going to be aliens.
Yeah, it's going to be. It's aliens.
Oh, but you did kind of spoil. Now I know that wargs can, like, pass their soul into, like, animals.
Well, they show that.
Well, I didn't know that was...
I didn't spoil that. They show that.
No, you kind of did, because I didn't think that was what happened. I thought that in his, like, dying breaths, he was controlling that thing.
Oh, I see.
And then he just died and it flew away.
Maybe
it could still be that.
It could be that for the show.
But you already let me know that...
Well, I'll let you know that for the book that's not the case.
Somebody's going to transfer themselves into some kind of animal, and it's going to be cool. That's what I know.
How do you know it hasn't happened already so many times? Maybe most of the animals.
And
maybe Bert the bear.
Maybe you were somebody else that transferred into your body, like Bran into Hodor. Maybe you were a retarded man, and a young boy took you over.
I still think Hodor is faking it.
Oh, here's something.
And he will become king of Westeros. He will sit
what
on the
the book
Iron
is about.
Throne.
I thought that was interesting that Jon Snow just like rode away from what's her face.
Well, that's why I was thinking, like, did he know? Maybe he knew his brothers were there.
I don't think he had any idea. No,
well,
Jon
didn't
Snow
he
didn't
hear
have
them?
any idea.
Really? Because he saw the two wolves. Wouldn't he have recognized the wolves?
But this is what we were debating before. We didn't know. They gave no inclination at all that he noticed. That he thought, oh, this is Bran and... I don't remember him... I know he saw wolves attack.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have... He doesn't have time to show us a reaction like, oh my god, that's Summer and that's Shaggy Dog.
Oh, but I think he knows. He definitely knows that. I think that he definitely knows that that's their wolf.
He may know that, but that doesn't mean that he knows that they're in the tower.
Because he's got to be wondering why wasn't I attacked by these wild wolves?
Well, that's true. Well, so he may have that sense, but that doesn't. But he doesn't know that they're close.
Right.
He doesn't see them anywhere. I don't think he assumes. I don't think he has time to think about it.
Well, the guy was saying like, "There's someone in that tower," you know.
Yeah, but John is not involved in that,
aside.
and he's like aside, and he's faced with something. He's absorbed into this moment where I have to now kill this stable man, and what am I going to do? Am I going to not kill him? Am I going to turn and attack them? How am I going to get out of this? What am I going to do? And he's thinking, I got to get back to Castle Black.
He should have just killed him. He was going to die anyway.
He could have killed them. Well, you mean he could have killed him and then attacked everyone else? Started attacking everyone else?
No, I mean, the guy was going to get killed anyway. Might as well just kill him.
But he doesn't want to do that because he's a member of the Night's Watch. Whatever. He's going to kill a member of the Night's Watch.
Yeah,
Yeah, what...
Well, that's the whole point of
John's
broke one oath.
Well, that's a little different than than killing a member of the Night's Watch.
What do you think?
Play the part.
But that's the thing. Everyone knows. That's why they did it. That's why the one guy was like, he knew he wasn't going to go through with it.
I didn't like the line where John goes, "You were right all along."
Yeah, you were right the whole time.
Yeah, I didn't.
That
like
was
that.
a little. That was a
like
little,
that's implied. Of course.
It was a little corny. It was a little corny. Yeah.
It's like if the guy with a knife said, "Baby this," and started stabbing her or something.
Exactly like that.
I wish that happened now.
Everything's a horrifying.
Oh my god, baby this.
He just shat all over this scene.
Baby this. That's amazing. Oh my god.
Trying to think some other really insulting ones I could do.
Oh my god. Well, if you think about it, because
or Bruce Bolton goes up to Rob. What are you afraid? And stabs him. It's like really start making stupid remarks.
The Lannisters said for me to kill you. Stab. What? That's not a good message.
Hate to rob you of your life.
This is a stark reality check for you. Boom.
Oh my god.
Good lord.
I like
the writing is brilliant.
God bless this man.
Out of all the characters, I liked Walter Frey the best in that episode.
You are a maniac. You are out of your mind.
I like the sadistic murderer.
I liked him. I thought he was like the best actor in that episode.
You liked him like how like
so
you like
crazy.
Hannibal Lecter,
like a
the
fine
best in
wine.
Silence of the Lambs.
No, because he was such a crazy I thought he was really good, crazy lord guy.
I thought the performance was amazing.
Right. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I thought the writing was fantastic. I fucking hate that asshole though. I don't like him the best. I thought I'll say this though. I thought he was one of the best performances in the episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think the best.
He's right up there with Bruce Bolton. With Bruce.
I say Caitlin was the best performance at the end.
Well, no, she definitely.
Because the look on her face, like when she screamed, and then they slid, like everything with that last shot. I wonder how many takes that took. Because I don't think.
Well, see, this what I don't think. I have a feeling that she got that in one take.
You think? Yeah, because
how many times do you do that?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. There's got to be interviews about it now.
I want to see interviews, documentaries. I want to see everything. I'm telling you, it's like the shower scene in Psycho. I just want to study it and see because they nailed it. They made it.
Or like that
so
scene
disturbing.
in the room when Tommy Wiseau goes to pick up flowers.
Oh yes, they're tearing him apart. Everyone betrayed him.
Study that scene.
He was so betrayed. He was betrayed.
Yeah,
by everyone. His friends, his girlfriends.
He just loves Lisa so much.
Yeah.
How could Mark do that?
Because he's a little chicken. Cheep, 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 cheep.
Why do you chicken? Cheep, cheep.
So what do you think is going to happen with John now? Boss.
Jon Snow? Oh, I guess he rides Castle Black. I don't know.
Great analysis.
What do you think?
Millions of dollars, please.
What about Ygritte? Well, you told me you like Ygritte a lot. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
She had a different persona.
She was fighting with Jon Snow.
Yeah.
She was gonna turn on him.
She started looking a little more wild.
Yeah.
Got her out of it.
Yeah, he knocked her down. Well, Jon Snow knocked her out of the way, and then Tormund grabbed her and was trying to keep her out of it.
Yeah.
And,
why does Tormund care about her so much?
Well, they all care about her.
I thought it was a little interesting.
Well, the one guy is in love with her. The warg.
Yeah.
He wanted to be
Tormund
with her.
to maybe kill her.
I think he's trying to talk sense into her because he feels more of a connection with her because she is a wildling as opposed to Jon Snow, who in the back of everyone's mind.
And they're both redheads. You know.
That's
true.
That's true.
You gotta stick together.
They're both kissed by fire.
Kissed by fire.
That's what they call it.
Yeah.
That's what the cool people call it.
I have no idea what's going to happen with Jon Snow.
What do you think is going to happen with when news of this gets to King's Landing? What do you think is going to happen there?
Oh, they're going to have this party, I think. I think that's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Good times.
I think that's what's going to happen.
Oh, my God.
They're going
Rob's dead.
What else? What else would they do?
So was Caitlin.
Should we end this? I have no idea how to end this.
I guess.
I feel this is the most. I'm gonna have
usually we do a quote, a line quote.
Nah, we don't have to worry about that.
All right. Well, I guess that's it then. So next week is the season finale.
Season finale. What do you think is going to happen? Did we ask you that already?
I think somebody major's gonna die.
20 minutes.
Somebody else gotta die. I think.
All
Why
right.
not?
At this point, it's fair game.
Oh, I think some crazy shit's gonna happen in that tunnel that Sam goes in. Maybe.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they might get to the tunnel or to a tunnel.
What do you think is going to be the last shot?
Oh, they showed it in the preview. I think it's just going to be her with the Daenerys with the dragon. She just sends him off for some reason. I think that looked like a last shot to me when I watched.
Just go. Just get out of here.
Get out of here!
Go. Don't throw rocks at the dragon.
Yeah.
I have no idea what context.
Like
it
the
was
scene in
but
Air
it seemed
Bud.
like a final scene.
They will cut to an actual scene of Air Bud.
Yeah. And then the dragon's playing basketball. All right, so that was the Reigns of Castamere. Hope we weren't rambling too much, but it was just that disturbing, and
it was an amazing episode. Best episode of the series.
Yeah.
And so next week's the season finale, and we'll see you the day after that. We'll record the day after that, and then we'll see you the day before.
We got to plan some Game of Thrones
after that.
Some Game of Thrones related activities after this is done. I'm thinking maybe we should get the game.
Yeah, we should get the board game.
No, I mean the video game.
Oh, the video game. We should do the board game though. No?
The board game.
We need a fourth.
I never liked the board game. Just pissed me off.
You don't like the Well, it takes about 15 hours to play it. Yeah.
How is that going to work?
I don't know. It's going to cut into our D&D.
Yeah.
It's gonna cut into everything.
You know what? I'm just going to quit my job. I'll pick up the game.
Yeah, so we might play the Game of Thrones game in the future. So there you go.
Right.
Not the board game.
Oh boy.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.